Okay, so it didn't take long, but more Highlander stuff. So we've actually got some on location stuff to look at now. We've had a number of photos that have, for lack of a better term, leaked online, and now we can throw into the mix. We've got actual video footage. What I'll do, I'll post the link to, well, it's the article from the Daily Star where the photos have been published, and then of course we've got the videos that have been uploaded. I'll post links to those so you can go and check them out if you haven't seen them already. This is where things start to get exciting, basically, because now that they're actually doing on location stuff, it's all to play for now. Like, you could just click on any time, and you could have a whole new batch of stuff. So of course, this connects to the rumblings that were going on Wednesday. That filming was expected to take place around the Tower of London, uh, London Bridge, there or thereabouts. Um, yeah, this is where it's going down. Night shoot. We've got Henry Cavill there. We got Jeremy Irons there as well. Again, I wasn't sure how long it was gonna, because you don't know what schedules are like. I wasn't sure if we were gonna see Jeremy Irons so soon, but lo and behold, there he is, front and center. Um, I really like Jeremy Irons. I think he's a fascinating actor. Um, of course, brilliant at what he does, and very you know, an interesting performer, very unique performer. Of course, not afraid to go big and bold when he needs to. Um, there's certain films of his I always go back to. The Mission, I think, is one of the greatest films ever made. Die Hard with a Vengeance is one of my favourite films ever made. And that's a great piece of casting. Like, who are we going to get to play Alan Rickman's brother? Get Jeremy Irons. Well, they're both brilliant, so yeah, that works. He's so much fun in Die Hard with a Vengeance when he does the whole Bob Thompson city engineer's office skit when they go into the Federal Reserve. God damn it. He is, when you can tell that an actor's having so much fun with what they're doing. But Jeremy Irons always does. Another brilliant example is the Man in the Iron Mask when he plays Aramis. You can see, again, working alongside, Gabriel Byrne, John Malkovich, Gerard Depardieu. And even the stuff he has to do with Leonardo DiCaprio in the film, because Aramis has a very interesting role to play in that film, and Jeremy Irons does a phenomenal job with it. But this is a guy who's done so much great stuff over the years, and just that he's a part of this now. That's fantastic. And now we know, of course, well, when it was announced that he joined the cast, we understand he's going to be in a villainous role. Speculation as to what that is, of course, could be involved with the Watchers, or some, like, I don't know whether you want to say rogue element of Watchers in the sense that he's a villain. So it's like, oh, why was he actually taken out Immortals? But it's great to see him on, he's there with Cavill, and, the scene, of course, footage of Cavill on the motorbike and then being knocked down. I assume it's by Jeremy Irons and his gang, and we'll have some sort of confrontation take place. Great. So we had the initial video that came out, but then something else has just been uploaded. Again, it goes hand in hand with this. It's from the same sequences shot at the Tower of London. So basically, why I wanted to talk about this specifically in this new video, you see the katana. And one of my big questions, and I touched on this in the previous video, is what's the design going to be? Because I said it before, I've said it time and again, the Ramirez katana from the 86 original, I think is the coolest sword in cinematic history. No over exaggeration, I think it's fantastic. Katanas are inherently cool. Now you've got the likes of Shad Brooks at Shadiversity. You know, realistically, there may well be better swords in terms of functionality, practicality. You know, because katanas have been given almost mythic status. Fine, that works for this, of course, but you've got the cool design, fair enough. But it's the handle on it, son. That gorgeous on in it. It's a thing of beauty because it's so ornate, it's so detailed, and then you've got. Again, I've referred to it as a dragon head. I've also in the past referred to it as like a lion's head as well. It's somewhere in between, whatever you want to call it. It may be more accurate to call it a lion's head, and then you could kind of say the Duncan MacLeod katana was more of a dragon head. I don't know, but the original Ramirez katana is the greatest sword ever for me. And I speculated, you know, are they going to keep the original design? Finally have it. It didn't take long. But yeah, one of the production assistants is carrying it. The set obviously setting up, preparing to shoot. And almost certainly it's the original design. Of course you can't. You don't get it's all in motion, so you don't get a clear, 100% look at it. But you see enough to say, yeah, that's the Ramirez katana. So again, Chad Stahelski. This just reinforces for me. Chad Stahelski is just my kind of guy. It's like looking at the design of that original Ramirez katana. Yeah, it's awesome. Just use it. But I'm just again, it's a little thing, but god damn it, it makes me smile. Um, yeah, again, but it's just it's actually happening. I mean, I've been waiting for this for 10 years, because it was around the time that John Wick two, came out, and then I was like, I was all going to the cinema. I went to the cinema with bells on to go see John Wick 2. Loved it. And it was like, I came out of it saying, all right, okay, that's John Wick 2 done. Highlander's next up. Not so much, because we had John Wick 3. And then inevitably we had John Wick 4. And then, of course, Chad Stahelski had to go in and do work on the ballerina. Um, but hey, we're finally here. It's alright though. It's alright. It really is okay. Because, one of the things we all have to bear in mind is. And it's good that they've taken this time, really, because it goes back to that idea of getting it right, getting it the way they want it to be, so they can just go in there and get it done. And they've refined it. Because, of course, as we've seen with so many things, well, this is the rule, isn't it? Film is forever. Like, once it's done, once it's captured in the frame and it's committed and it's locked and that's what's released, that's it. So, the fact that they've taken the time, we got to embrace that. We got to welcome that, because I want this. Again, kind of going hand in hand with the amount of time we've all waited for this. I want this to be absolutely incredible, and I really, really like Henry Cavill. So I want to see him do. I'm rooting for him because I know he's had missteps and setbacks and all that stuff, but like even because when Man of Steel initially came out, I missed it. My introduction to Henry Cavill was Man from Uncle, and I thought it was fantastic. I think it's great. It's the best for me. It's the best Bond film we've had since Tomorrow Never Dies. I'll say it. And I've talked before about how Henry Cavill and Guy Ritchie are a winning combination. We had that again reinforced with Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, and then of course April 10th we're getting In the Grey, which I'm sure will be an absolute joy. So we've got some great stuff from Cavill there. Of course, what he did in Mission Impossible Fallout, we get to see him play a villain. So another string to his bow. Really like that. And again, part of one of the most spectacular fight sequences as well. That bathroom fight early on in Mission Impossible Fallout is something to behold. So he's done great stuff. I mean, obviously it's been a bit sparse. We've had, hit and miss stuff in between, but we won't go into that. But this is just, again, we're going to get something really, really great here. I have every faith. And again, let's get excited for Voltron as well, because by all accounts, we're going to get to see Cavill have this awesome sword fight at some point in the film, and that's apparently going to be a taster for what to expect in Highlander. But yeah, I'm just excited to see where they're going next. And again, just hopefully more stuff from the set. It's just going to roll and roll. But again, just thinking, touching on release dates. Obviously, we don't have anything official yet. Now, Empire did a report on it when the first look dropped, and they said 2027. That makes sense. Now, of course, when? It's like, okay, you're giving us a year. The next inevitable question is when. Now, from what I can gather, this is kind of following a similar time frame to what Masters of the Universe has, because Masters of the Universe was filming at the beginning of last year, and now, of course, they're set for a June release this year. So, and again, similar, sword and sorcery stuff. I think there's reason to expect Highlander to be June of 2027. Obviously, we don't know yet, but June of 2027, I don't think that's unreasonable. But again, we live in what Robert Meyer Burnett said time and again. We live in wondrous times. Now, granted, a lot of the time it doesn't feel like that for whatever reason, but in terms of just we're getting an embarrassment of riches, and this isn't one. This is just the latest gift that we're gonna get. But yeah, all to be excited for here. So we've seen Cavill, finally got a bit of Jeremy Irons. Who's next? Surely we got to get Big Dave next. We got to see Dave Bautista as the Kurgan soon. And then, of course, whenever Russell Crowe rocks up, and I'm sure not far behind him will be Karen Gillan, because again, like we said before, it makes sense because their scenes all take place in the same time period. Can you imagine? I mean, getting ahead of ourselves. Can you imagine what that first? I mean, look what they gave us in the first trailer for Masters of the Universe. We get some good stuff in there. And again, let's fast forward to when we eventually get that for Highlander. Oh, it's gonna be something to behold. You don't even know. Like the first day it comes out, gonna be there with bells on, and I've heard people talk about doing this. I've never done it myself, but they've been in to see a film, they've came out and they've gone straight back in for the next showing. I think I'm doing it, man. We're gonna do it. We're gonna go in there, we're gonna sit through it, and then we're gonna come out and we're gonna go right on back in. But again, please feel free to share your thoughts. Again, it's just real. It feels real, and I love it. And I'd love to get your thoughts because there's a lot to be excited about. There's a lot, all positive things, But yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble again. This is gonna be it now. Every time there's anything Highlander news, we're gonna pounce on it. And of course, from a personal standpoint, I can't wait till Max Jang enters the mix. I don't know if he's going to be friend or foe, but his fight scenes are going to be off the chain, son. You better believe it. I'll never forget we thought we were wrapping up. We thought we were wrapping up. I'll never forget the first time I saw Max Jang. It was in that SPL Killzone 2, not the Donnie Yen one, but the Tony Jaa one. And obviously, Max Jang's in there as like the villain of the piece. He plays like this corrupt prison warden, like head of the prison. And there's this sequence where there's a prison riot. This so often happens in these kinds of films. So the guards, come on down to try and pacify the whole thing. They're having a bit of trouble. So basically, Max Jang enters the fray. And I'll never forget, because he walks in there again, just clean cut, slick as you like, suited, sharp suit, all of that stuff. And again, he enters just very relaxed, very casual, very calm. And again, one of the rioters, one of the inmates, whatever you want to call him, makes a beeline for him as if though he's going to do something. And again, just split second, it's some kind of kick that he delivers. Max Jang just eviscerates the guy. And you're like, and this is the first time I'd ever seen Max Jang, so I didn't know what to expect. It's like, oh, yeah, this guy's the truth. But yeah, I love Max Jang. Can't wait to see what he's going to bring to this. And yeah, let's leave it there before I go any more. And thanks for bearing with me. Again, please feel free to share your thoughts. Love to hear them. And I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, everyone. Bye bye.